and gentlemen, it's good to be back. And we're back for some Serie A football here on Super Sunday, our pre-game, if you will, for the big one coming up later tonight. We've got a big derby later on, but to kick us off, we're watching the Serie A and the top side, the best side in Serie A this season, AC Milan, playing host to Sassuolo, sitting in ninth currently right now. Audio is all over the place here. You can hear me, Elijah, but struggling with the audio today. Well, as we always do here in the channel, for watch-alongs, we are going to have a dodgy start. Audio problems, but that's just part of the parcel, isn't it? Massive game here. Top of the table, Milan playing us at Sassuolo. Luka Modric has kicked off here. Milan kicking from left to right. Sassuolo from right to left.
Really have experienced it all versus today's opponent, Sassuolo. Max Allegri's men shape up this afternoon against the Nero Verdi.
I'm sorry for Salamakas early on with an attempt. I will try and work out this audio as we start this game here. Hoping it won't go poorly. Give me a sec here, ladies and
This afternoon, if Milan are to go on and claim the Scudetto this season, they are going to have to win these types of games against mid-table
Hello, hello. I've had better starts to live streams before, but this one is just not going well. Might have the dodgy audio for the time being.
Time whistle gave Milan hope, and Christian Pulisic, who we heard was suffering with flu, came off the bench. Really turned the tide. The Rossoneri, 2 goals, 2 well-taken goals, it must be said. To earn all 3 points for Milan. Huge victory for them to keep them at the top of the tree.
That stands. We've gone about just over 5 minutes in this one here.
Teams have played each other twice. Decided his first alphabetically stays ahead of the other, so Milan ahead of Napoli.
See how we go from here on in. Audio is very rubbish, I apologise for that. Making the most of what we can here.
Tough test. So today they face Udinese.
It's a real tough one, like, this kind of point in time, because nothing wants to work. Here comes Sassuolo the other way. They looked like he was pushing the back, nothing doing to the referee. We see the return of Christian Pulisic for AC Milan alongside Christopher and Nkunku up top. Rich intercepting that pass there. Rabiot away, broken up initially there. Staying with the midfielder and Nemanja Matic, the skipper for Sassuolo. Kande, Matic. There's Fikayo Tomori breaking that up there. Pulisic turning. Away from one, but not away from the Matic challenge. Fantastic there to win the ball back. Kone.
It's his second goal of the season. Goal that really made sure of Sassuolo's victory over Fiorentina last time out.
But it's a good football in the early passages here. Bartazaghi backpedaling there. In the end did well enough to force a poor cross. And there's Aleti Salamakas broken up. Kande. Ball floated in but straight into the hands of Magnon. Might quickly try and fix this audio once again, guys, so just give me a tick. Hopefully we can get this sorted.
to Fagera. Tushtrets. Impad idea. Allegri in the press conference yesterday highlighted how important it was for Milan to start well here. Trailed so often this season to come back, and they have shown incredible resolve, particularly against the likes of Pisa, Torino, of course, last Monday. 2 goals down. Clearly, they don't want to do it the hard way. They want to get in front, establish a lead, to rest some of those bigger players for the Super Cup coming up. Is Rabiot for Milan down the left. Time the American gets the ball.
I think we've had a fix, so we should be good to go, I think, ladies and gentlemen. We're 10 minutes into this game, and I've commentated or reacted on nothing of it. But I think now we are good to go. Hopefully we're good to go. Scores below. I need to move that way a little bit more. Let's get everything centered and ready to go. Hopefully now we're... Yeah, that sounds a lot better. Okay, we are back. I am very apologetic for the first 11 minutes of this game here. Everything now seems to be in readiness. Okay. Let's get going here. Pavlovic. Christian Pulisic dropping into midfield and now driving into a lot of space. In the end, met by Kone. Remember to keep tuned, guys. Now that we've fixed all this shit, we are live later tonight for the time we at Derby. That's the big one on Super Sunday. This is just a prelude to what's to come. There's Kande. Now Kone. Sassuolo will be happy to have Milan have lots of the possession. They'll look to hit the break, but we know how good Milan have been this season. Late winners, great comebacks, shown a lot of character under Maxime Allegri. As much as this can be a bit of a banana skin as it has been in the past for this Milan side, Allegri's got this unit playing much more together, and playing better team football, showing better fight. It's interesting to see, though, the outcome of this game here. This one back there by Nemanja Matic, drilled in. Kone still. What a finish on Kone! Sassuolo take the lead against the run of play. And the Canadian born. What a goal from Kone. And Sassuolo against all the run of play. Haven't had much to say. It's all set up by Nemanja Matic. Cheeky little dink in behind. It's found Kone and little cheeky dink there to get the better Mike Maignan in goal. And it's the visitors that take the lead here in Milan. Ismail Kone, smart finish. All starts here. Nemanja Matic picks up the loose ball. Nice little reverse ball. Bounces off Piemonte. And then Kone can just run in, unmarked. Making that late run into the box. That's just a great touch of Piemonte. And the touch from Kone is even better. Deft finish over Mike Maignan. An advantage Sassuolo. And Milan will have to come from behind once more if they want to get a positive result in this game. The league leaders under pressure. The league leaders from all of it to do. Ismail Kone on the score sheet, advantage Sassuolo. Shocking start to this game here. I think those Milan fans can't believe it as well. For the first quarter of an hour, it really has been all Milan. But one swift move, as it can often be. Oh, direct reply was almost in there from Rabiot. Bartazaghi there on the left-hand side is going to be dangerous, you know that. Loves to have an overlapping run. Loves to put balls into the area. Great master, Luka Modric, over this corner kick. It's Modric's right-footed in-swinger. Keeper comes and collects. Former Burnley goalkeeper Muric then. There's the stat on screen. Sassuolo, when scoring first in Serie A this season, 5 out of 5 times they've gone on to win the game. That's a massive stat for them and a worrying stat for Milan. Had the chance to extend that lead on top of Serie A with some games to come this weekend. A great little move there. Volpato into Pinamonti. And it's taken off him and it's a shove. Nothing doing to the referee. Nemanja Matic in the end fouling Luka Modric. 2 veterans going at it there. We're seeing once again though, the break is very, very dangerous for Sassuolo. Tushfest, they're just going to ground too easy. Whereas Luka Modric and his AC Milan side, I have to say, shocking start really. In terms of, they were the ones making all the forward moving. They've been shocked into silence almost, this Milan crowd, because this was not on the script today. They have come from behind, as we said, a lot of times so far this season, but Maxime Allegri's sides don't often concede many goals. When you concede first, a lot of work to do. Here's Christopher Nkunku, Fikayo Tomori, and now Salamakers. That ball took a nick. Here's the goal scorer, Kone. In the end, he is fouled by Alexis Salamakers. He should have played his case. He was wondering what he actually did wrong in that situation. Appreciate all of you guys joining me and dealing with all the dodgy starts to this. But I think the audio and the visuals now are back on track. It was a worrying start to the live stream, nonetheless. Luka Modric, Anthony Rabiot. We've had a bit of a pause in play on my end. Hopefully we'll get that back. We're back live again. Little problem here. We're back live. Gonna resync our game time up there, but we are back synced up. Foul from Christian Pulisic there on the left-hand side. It couldn't be a Super Sunday live stream without multiple problems. There's a handball foul from Christian Pulisic. So Sassuolo in the league can build up now. It's Kone who scored the first goal. That came on the 14th minute mark. As I said, totally against the run of play, but Milan have been the comeback kings so far this season. In their last game, that 3-2 victory, coming from behind twice to win that game. Here's Matic. Kande's just let that hit his arm. In the end, he could have actually turned around and took the ball down. And Kone found Alexis Salamakers. Kande was in behind there for a moment. Just didn't quite turn around to receive the ball. Maxi Allegri, the big coat's come off. He isn't happy with how his side has started this match of football. They can't let this slip here, Milan. It is such a close title race, and Napoli and Inter finding their form as we hit the Christmas period. You can't be slowing down if you're Milan. Tamori there seemed to be fouled, and he's in a bit of pain there from that challenge. Just seemed to have rolled that right ankle there, Fikayo Tomori. Someone who's had his injury problems in recent seasons. He's just getting tended to now. But his injury break here. We'll have a quick look at the games to come. Oh, no, we're back live. No need. We'll save that for a later problem. He's Adrian Rabiot. Bartazagi there now. Pulisic dropping into these little pockets, as he will do all night long. It's a great question how Milan are losing. They've had a season very similar to this game so far. It feels like when they start slow and they get going as the game progresses. That's a loose pass and a loose touch, and they thought a handball there for a minute, but nothing doing, and now Pavlovic can take the ball away for Milan. Players like Fadera, players like Piemonte are going to be very, very important in terms of holding the ball up when they get a chance to get out here, Sassuolo. Here's Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Here's Alexis Salamakas, dinked in ball, looking for Christopher Nkunku. In the end, dealt with the centre half. Murhemorovic there. Ruben Loftus-Cheek doing what he does best. We've seen so much of him in the Serie A, and those late runs, those big, powerful runs into and around the box. Corner kick here. Salamakas left-footed in-swinger. It's a free header. A few shouts from the crowd for handball. Nothing doing, though. Salamakas. Luka Modric now. Pardon me, it was Bartazagi who whipped that ball into the box. Here is Tomori. Shook off that little ankle roll. Salamakas around the corner. That ball was poor. Matic picked it up. Here's Piemonte. Fadera cutting inside of Salamakas is Fadera, and that ball is very poor. Now Adrian Rabiot can take the ball away. Little chop inside. Feints and then goes in the outside. Rabiot still now. Pavlovic marauding forward. And that's a foul. That's going to be a yellow card, you think, for Kone. And Murhemorovic has absolutely ran over to the referee and asked, what's doing? There's 2 yellow cards in that there. Murhemorovic really wanted that. Poor challenge over was from Fadera in the end. Nemanja Matic was brought to ground by a poor challenge. And Ruben Loftus-Cheek. So a pair of yellow cards, Fadera and Loftus-Cheek now in the book. Both cynical challenges. You don't want to be doing this, setting up Luka Modric in a dangerous position for a dead ball. For many, this would be a difficult angle to work with, but for Luka Modric, anything is possible. The Croatian will look to dink this ball towards the back post. Second balls, maybe. An opportunity. Here's Modric. It is dinked in. And Ante Muric can come and collect. I don't know why he's released the ball so fast there. He's put Fadera under all sorts of problems. And in the end, a Milan throw, which Tomori will look to take and take fast. Milan need to get going here. Halfway through the first half. Yet to truly challenge Ante Muric in goal. This man you think would be key. Luka Modric. Tomori. Alexis Salamakers. And tight there by Kande. Thank you everyone joining me here. Let me know your score predictions in the comment section. Obviously in the mad rush of all the audio problems at the start of this game, didn't give my score prediction. To be honest, I was going to go with a 2-0 Milan win, but I might change to a 2-1 Milan win. The comeback kings, I think we'll do it again here, but Sassuolo, the history in this fixture at this venue are in their favour, and the history of this season, they've won 5 out of 5 games when they've scored first. Luka Modric, disrupted by Nemanja Matic, who can hold off the Croatian. Smart little ball, but too smart in the end. Mateo Gabiet now plays Pavlovic, and Sassuolo at the moment are camped in on the edge of their own area. Adin Rabiot, now Baltazar now. They really will need these wing-backs to get up and down the pitch here. Create that width, create that overload. Whip balls into the box. It is a centre-half, Pavlovic, to whip the ball in. That takes a touch off Throsvets and behind for another Milan corner kick. Their 4th of the first half. Over 25 minutes into this one. Still the solo goal for Ismail Kone, the difference. Another Modric right-footed in-swinger. Loftus-Cheek, Gabia, Pavlovic, all key targets, and Kunku and Pulisic are in and around the 6-yard box. It is Modric. Ante Muric comes again and collects. He's been very good in the air in this first half, coming to collect balls into the box. Budametovic there. And here comes Sassuolo. Down the right-hand channel here. Volpato, the right-hand side winger. Swinging the ball across to Budametovic. Here come Milan in transition after Piemonte was beaten. Oh, Luka Modric, fantastic initially. Couldn't keep the second ball though. Fadera's cutting inside, and in the end, Luka Modric, out of frustration, bundles over the wide player. Fadera has looked dangerous whenever he's got a chance to get his head up and get running at this AC Milan backline. It's a great midfield that AC Milan have, but at times they can get caught a bit flat-footed. There's that nutmeg from Luka Modric on Ismail Kone, the goal scorer. Volpato and Federa, 2 wide men standing over this dead ball. Okay, another difficult spot for a set piece to get any sort of angle or direction on it, but they still try and work this ball. Big crowd around the penalty spot. It swung in. Magnan wanted it. And in the end, a long shot deflected out. Lukowic's long-range effort there, deflecting out of play. And Sassuolo will have their first corner of the game. Let's go 2 up for this corner kick. It's a really poor ball in the end. Well dealt with, and Kunku the second ball. Mudic. And taking too many touches there, Federa. Federa's given away, and Rabiot somehow missed. It's come back to Adin and Rabiot, and it's blocked off the line. Fantastic work from Sassuolo. And Adin Rabiot is really wondering how he's missed 2 chances. At the start though, Federa, what is he doing? He's just dilly-dallying, playing out from the back, and in the end, Idge getting back to make the block. Rabiot should have scored his first chance. In the end, Ante Muric with his right shoulder kept the ball out. Then the follow-up. In the end, it's offside, but Ante Rabiot spurning 2 chances. 2 gimmies, really. Feder needs to know his bearings and his surroundings, because that was just self-sabotaging chaos trying to dribble out of the back there. Rabiot can hit the ground all he wants, but he has missed the chance of the game so far. That was the opening there for Milan on the half-hour mark to find a way back into this game here, but they spurned it. That's ball by Cornet. Now, Ruben Loftus-Cheek disrupted in there. Won it back, however, and he's strong to hold off the Cornet challenge. Now, Alexis Salamakis. Reverse ball there for Pulisic. Here comes Tamori joining up the pitch. Flowing Milan move in the end, broken up. Menovic can hook away and voila. Pato heads out of play. The Milan crowd finding some voice here. Quarter of an hour to half time. Still the Ismail Kone goal, the difference between these two sides. Top of the table, Milan have come from behind on a plethora of occasions. The early stage of this season here, but it's going to take once more character and more quality to get the better of a Sassuolo side they'll be happy to sit in now. That ball looking for Christopher Nkunku, broken up and hooked clear by Murhe Morovic. Obviously, Super Cup to come for the Giants Milan. It's coming up in Saudi. But first, this challenge here. They want to go into this break they'll have on top of the Serie A, not dropping points to a side in the mid-table like Sassuolo. Tempo's been there, pace has been there. Just need to find that finishing touch in around the box. Here's for Kele Tomori. Salamakis, Gabia, and Tamori, almost playing as the right back at this current point in time. Salamakis just inverting himself more centrally. Got a plethora of Milan shirts occupying that back four for Sassuolo. It's Adrian Rabiot and Nkunku, Pulisic, Ruben Loftus-Cheek as well. So this back line is going to be tested. A lot of runners in behind, people dropping in short. Pulisic wants the ball to feet. He's just occupying that space centrally in front of this back four, but Milan are forced sideways. Modric. Salamakis now. Salamakis, great ball to find Loftus-Cheek. Tomori, great ball across the box. Once again, though, dealt with by Throthvet. It's Gabia, Modric. Fikar Tomori continues to be the furthest wide right player. Loftus-Cheek's ball. And it's hit the back post. And it is in by Bartazaghi. And Milan level in the 34th minute. It was going to happen. And the eventual pressure told. And the Milan hero Bartazaghi on the score sheet. What a run into the back post to get on the end of that ball across the box by Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek continuing to make those late runs into the box. He made it once again. Received that ball from Luka Modric into that half space and drew a dangerous ball across 6-yard box. And it was Bartazaghi at the back stick that reacted the quickest. And he got in to score across Ante Muric. Great finish, tidy finish from the wing back. And we're all square here at the San Siro. You just felt like it was coming for Milan. All that pressure. Eventually told. Now it's 1-1. Ismail Kone's 13th minute effort. Equalised by Bartazaghi in the 34th minute. 1-0 here at the San Siro. Once again, Milan have found an avenue back into a game after trailing this season. Luka Modric again. A long searching ball for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. That's a shove in the back. Somehow it's not a foul. Kante got away with one there. Tomori. Yeah, it's a blatant shove in the back from Kante. Somehow no foul given, but Milan kicked the ball. Modric wanting it. Modric will get it from Pavlovic. Tomori, inside to Nkunku. He's just crowded out. Throsves there. Meeting Nkunku. Try to get this ball game back underway. There is the goal scorer, Alexis. Davide Bartazaghi. Good game so far, football. Haven't really been disappointed by any Serie A games so far this season. We have some great watch-alongs already from this great Italian league. This all means a lot for Milan. I want to keep hold of that top spot in Serie A. Piemonte beats into that one. Christian Pulisic looking to play that ball around the corner, but intercepted and out of play for a Milan throw. Here's Loftus-Cheek, got the assist for that goal there. Tomori continues to pick up little pockets inside. Great weighted pass to find Salamakers from Christian Pulisic. It's Salamakers cutting inside. Salamakers always high. Always over the crossbar. Had options available inside. Let's have a look at this goal once again. Rabiot looking to make the run. Takes the defender. Davide Bartazaghi continued his run at the back post and was in to score. Everyone else flat-footed. He was there to react and he was there to score. Seems to be a foul here. Piemonte has been fouled in the end. We're just kicking off here at the moment. Sassuolo set piece. First ball was won by Nemanja Matic. Storosvest there. Rabiot, nice little sweep back and find Pavlovic. Now Alexis Salamakers. Christian Pulisic, great little take there. Pafadera won the ball well. Volpato into midfield. Fadera. And out of Salamakers, you'd think. And it was off the wing back. And another Sassuolo throw. Kande here to take it. We're 5 minutes away from the half-time interval. Entertaining so far. Sassuolo really with their only chance going forward have scored with Ismail Kone. Great build-up involving Nemanja Matic. And obviously the pivotal touch by Piemonte. But since then, it's all been Milan. And Sassuolo have been camped on the edge of their own area. And a ball across the 6-yard box from Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Found Davide Bartesaghi to equalise. That's the story of the game so far. It's a foul by Luka Modric there. On Ismail Kone. Nemanja Matic now. He got the Sassuolo side buzzing in the early moments. Mudem Borovic. Tamori with a sloppy challenge into the back of Federa, considering the wide man was already falling over. He didn't need to really give him that shove. Get the referee no choice in the end. In the end, I don't think he even shoves him there. Allegri did not think that was a foul at all. Well, would he? But didn't seem to be much in that one there. On mine, as we currently stand, as I predicted 2-1 here in favour of Milan, so prediction could still be on. Make sure, guys, you stay with us because obviously this second half action, top of the table, Serie A side Milan, and then we're off next to England. And for the time we're Derby. Cool one that one's going to be. Newcastle travelling to the Stadium of Light to take on Sunderland. Reggie Lebree's side in some fantastic form. Vodanovic back to Muric. Oh, Volpato's back heel was fabulous. Didn't quite meet Kone though. Gabriel goes back to the keeper, Mike Magnon. Right pass in the feet of Luka Modric. Davide Bartesaghi. And as always, Luka Modric is available to pick the ball up. Salamakis and Kande going toe-to-toe. And then the foul by the Sassuolo man. So Milan a free kick on the halfway line. 3 to go in this first half. I think there will definitely be more goals to come in the second half, my friend. Yeah, as I said, 2-1 Milan was my prediction. We look back to last game for Milan, a 3-2 victory. You know, there's always going to be some chaos. Surprising for a Maxime Allegri side, considering how normally defensively orientated they are. But in recent weeks for them, it's all been about the comebacks. It's all been about scoring goals late. So you know there's going to be some more goals to come in this very, very interesting matchup. Modric. Smart little ball to find Fikayo Tomori, who's really made this right-hand channel his own. And Adrian Rabiot has drifted out here to join him. Rabiot. Modric. Was on the same wavelength with Salamakis. And here comes Sassuolo. Volpato's storming in on the right-hand side. And in the end, Kone just tried too much. He had Volpato on the right-hand side, seemingly in behind if he paid the pass. Federa was also occupying that space as well. Ball into Pulisic. In the end, a head collision there. Muramovic and Christian Pulisic both down holding their head. So we're going to stoppage in play. Yeah, Zidjes. Shoulder charge in the end. It probably should be a foul on the American. But he just goes down and makes the most of it. See now coming off after the mandatory head check. That should take us into the 45th minute. Into stoppages now for this first half. Ijes and Pulisic off the pitch. We're momentarily down to 10 each. Massimo Allegri getting some words into Christian Pulisic before he returns to play. Referee waves them on, so we're back with 11 v 11. Volpato. Nemanja Matic is momentarily filling in a centre half. Lakovic there, turning the ball over. Christian Pulisic, 3 to come here in stoppages. Can Milan find a goal to put them ahead into the interval? They're doing all the pressing in the second half of this first half. Being conducted by Luka Modric. Pushed forward by Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Bartazaghi and company. Impressive fight back after going down inside the opening 15 minutes for Milan, but they'd love to go into half-time with a 2-1 lead. You can see about the stats there. 64% of the ball for Milan. They have been in the ascendancy. They're the ones making all the pushing. They're the ones with the attempts on goal. Rabiot, Gabbia now. To Luka Modric, who's pulling the strings from deep. Modric fine to keep the ball. Fikayo Tomori, he's been pivotal so far in this first half as well. Getting the ball in dangerous areas. And Federa fouling. Gabbia there. Modric gets us back underway. Christopher Nkunku. Christian Pulisic. Always willing to receive the ball. Loftus-Cheek. Salamakas inside. Great ball in. Rabiot on it. Deflecting around. Bartazaghi and Volpato. A foul by Volpato into the back of Davide Bartazaghi. And this should be, you'd think, the last chance of the first half. Dangerous spot for a player like Luka Modric to whip a ball in. Great energy, great intensity from Bartazaghi to beat the Sassuolo wide man to the ball first and win that foul. Here we go. We're in the last minute now of the first half. Yeah, I did, Elijah. I think I know what you're talking about. Sydney's a weird, strange place at times. Modric floating that ball in the end, straight into the hand of Ante Muric. And once again, he's come and collected on the full. Done that on 3 or 4 occasions in this game here, whether even crosses, set pieces, or corner kicks. Very commanding of his 6-yard box. Tosvest. And Nemanja Matic playing keep ball with each other. Should take us into half-time here. Been entertaining so far. 1-1. But you know there's been another twist in this tale come the second half. There you go. First half comes to an end. It was Ismail Kone with a fantastic, superbly taken dink finish in the 13th minute. It was an equaliser by Davide Bartazaghi around the half-hour mark. As it stands 1-1. A lot more to play in the second half. Milan have made a habit of coming from behind to win games of football, so don't rule them out. We're in for a good second half, guys. Thanks for staying with me in this chaotic first half. I know we had some audio problems and some visual problems in the first 15 minutes, but you got it going. And boy, have we got an exciting game to come in the second half of our first game of our Super Sunday doubleheader. I'll be back for a short interval for halftime, and we'll be back for the start of the second half. A lot to be excited about, people, so don't leave us. Well, ladies and gents, we are back for second half action. Just waiting for Milan to exit the tunnel. Yeah, the players are going to pump each other up here. Need a big second half. Massimo Allegri would have had some stern words for those players, I think, at the halftime interval. But here they come up those steps and onto the San Siro pitch. As it currently stands, with another draw, they will go 1 point clear of Napoli, 2 points clear of Inter, with both to play. Roma, Bologna, Como, Juve, Napoli, and Inter all yet to play. A lot of teams so far yet to play in Serie A this weekend. This is a Sunday lunchtime kickoff, though. It's always a dangerous fixture for many clubs around Europe. Second half, seconds away now. Just waiting here. And we are underway. It is Sassuolo in their change white strip from left to right. It is Milan in the classical black and red stripes from right to left. And straight away, Sassuolo on the front foot. Adrian Rabiot fighting with Piemonte, and that's a foul by the centre forward on the Frenchman in midfield. To get the cameras all over the place. Let me just fix this camera up before we start second half action. A bit better. Nice and centered now on the screen. I did go with a 2-1 Milan prediction, so hopefully that can come true for me. Oh, Bartoszaghi's made it 2! He's made it 2! Davide Bartoszaghi, Milan lead! And what a comeback for Milan, led by their wingback. The hero in Milan stands up again. It came out of nothing. The classic saying, you wait forever, and it all comes at once, like the sauce bottle. And that's the same thing here for Davide Bartoszaghi. The first goal to draw level, and this goal straight away in the second half to put Milan in the lead. I was barely settled for the second half action, and he found the back of the net, drilling it into the near post to beat Ante Muric. It starts here with Pavlovic drilling that ball in, lands at the feet of Christopher Nkunku. He lays it off, and Bartoszaghi just says, I'll beat you at your near post. Now space at the near post to squeeze it in past Ante Muric. And the wing back, well, he's playing like a centre forward today. It's the Bartoszaghi party at San Siro. Milan fans still finding their seats for the second half, and their side are already in the lead. Into Milan 2, Sassuolo 1. Comeback complete. I need to hold on now for all 3 points. And the plans of sitting in and being disruptive and frustrating the Milan side have fallen apart in over 30 minutes since Sassuolo scored that first goal. Now, the away team have to get on the front foot. They have to try and make things happen. It has not really been good enough since the 20-minute mark. Luka Modric looking for Bartoszaghi. He wants to get a hat-trick now. Giving away. Christopher Nkunku. Nkunku curling. Ante Muric there to make the save. Volpato now. Intercepted by Bartoszaghi. He's everywhere right now. Luka Modric. Intercepted by Nemanja Matic. And Kone, he scored that first goal all that time ago. Great tackle by Alexis Salamakas. Kone crowded out by Adrian Rabiot. He plays a long ball to Christopher Nkunku. He's joined by 2 or 3 white shirts, and then takes the responsible route of finding Bartazagi backwards. Great pace in the second half, back and forth already. Pulisic, Loftus-Cheek, Tomori. All of a sudden now, Milan back to the summit and clear. Such a massive game for the big boys as they all go to Saudi for the Super Cup. So important each side gets that victory, carrying that form into that big tournament. Here's Christopher Nkunku now. Nkunku, one way than the next, and put behind by Ijes. And out for another Milan corner kick. Bartazagi double. He is applauded by those Milan fans in the home end. Left footed out swing of Bartazagi. Pinamonti gets the important touch. Fadera to his winger partner Volpato, but Fikayo Tomori in the way to intercept, and Milan can come forward again. You really have seen it once again, the character of Milan this season. By no means the most technical squad, by no means the most talented squad. But boy, do they show some fight. When they get their football going, and especially these wide wing players, Salamakas normally, today Bartazagi get going. They're a real hard team to stop. They're a great team to watch. That's the reason why they're top of Serie A at this current point in time. Pavlovic's ball just away from Christian Pulisic. He hasn't quite made the impact in this game which we'd expect. The American international always has something to say when he takes the pitch for AC Milan. Loftus-Cheek. Matteo Gabbia. Milan truly in control right now. 65% of the ball. Credit the 1 XG. Credit the 3 big chances to 1. That's what matters so far. They've limited opportunity for Sassuolo. Sassuolo have not had much of the football. And in transitional movements, the Milan side have gotten back in numbers and defended well. And Nkunku's dropping into midfield here. He's Rabiot, Gabbia, and Mike Magnon. Tomori ball down the line has gone over the line and out. Here's Ijes. Trosfest. Ijes again. With Matic. Got 2 conductors on both these 2 sides. Nemanja Matic, Luka Modric. They'll sit probably the most likely deepest of all the midfielders and look to pull the strings from there. Speaking of, there is Luka Modric intercepting that play. Ruben Loftus-Cheek dinked ball out wide. Looking for Salamakas. Didn't quite reach the wing back. In the end, does very well. 2 real smart, deft touches to get past 2 challenges. Gabbia. 2-1 to Milan as it currently stands. Luka Modric searching ball. Ijes wins it. Can get Sassuolo going forward. Matic. Trosfest. Great strength and great ball. Federa. His cross in the end, deflecting back off Gabbia and onto his leg and out for a goal kick. Gabbia looks to be in a bit of pain here. Oh, a bit of hyperextension of the knee there. That's a worry. Ay. That's going to be a bit of a problem for the centre half. Another great build-up to find the back in there for AC Milan. That's a sign of a top team. Able to find a way past the low block, able to insert quality when needed. Two great finishes from Davide Barzaghi. We have this break in play, and hopefully centre-back Gabbio is okay. Quick look at the table. Some massive games to come this weekend, obviously. So this is Milan, top of the league, who have played some of the best football so far. There's only one loss in Serie A. You look around the league, Napoli, 3 losses, Inter, 4 losses. And they've been stumbling over each other in recent weeks. That's a very poor injury for Matteo Gabbio. He looks like he will have his day done. So Napoli play Udinese later on. At the same time that we'll be watching the time we're derby. Bologna-Juventus is a big watch for the weekend as well. They play later here Sunday night. And then a big game at the same time on Monday night is Roma and Como. Into Genoa later today as well. So we'll know the way this ladder all lines up at the end of this evening. Potentially a bolter in Como if they can beat Roma as well later in the week on Monday Night Football. Mustn't forget, no Rafa Leao today, no Santi Jimenez. Christian Pulisic racked it first. Oh. And Sassuolo, the defenders were all over the place. Matteo Gabbio's up and walking. Massimo Allegri following him. And the touchline there. Modric there just took his eye off the football for a moment. And they created a chance there for Christian Pulisic to get on that second ball. So a needless corner concession by Sassuolo. And Luka Modric is keen to get this ball whipped in. And the applause is for Matteo Gabbio because he's back on after that awful looking injury there. Hopefully he's okay. So Luka Modric over this one. Milan's 5th corner of the game. Playing short to Christian Pulisic. Work back to Luka Modric. Salamakis whips it in. Oh, what's it in? Christian Pulisic on the score sheet once again. And Captain America in the Serie offside. We'll have a look at this, I think. Let's have a look. Ball gets whipped in. First contact made. I think he's onside. He looks to be on to me. Pavlovic with the header. Tapped by Muric. And put... Oh, there's no VAR check at all. Wow, that was a quick check. So no goal for Pulisic. That really would have wrapped this game up, but nothing from that. That was a very, very quick VAR check there. But no goal nonetheless. So Sassuolo dodge a bullet. Pavlovic, great header initially. Ante Muric with the save. Here's Volpato, a little cheeky chop inside. Throsvest there. Long curling ball. Looking for Fadera. His touch just got away from him and we have Mike Magnan goal kick. Modric there. And a yellow card. I don't quite know why that was ruled off. Wow. They've caught a foul on Loftus-Cheek and all of that. Very, very interesting call. So Federa is off. Kande off as well for Doig. And Madia Gabbia, I think this is precautionary. Massiguro Allegri. There's the winter on to likely play maybe on the left-hand side of this back three. See if Pavlovic moves centrally. No, it will be De Winter to play centrally of the three centre halves. So, few changes. Federa off, Kande off. The left-hand side has been reshuffled by Sassuolo, and the centre half Gabbia being replaced for Milan. I thought it was a smart little nudge there by Modric, but a foul deemed by the referee. Kone falling under that pressure. Obviously, he scored the opening goal inside of the first quarter of an hour. Lorient on for Sassuolo. There's Nemanja Matic. Former Roma man, now of Sassuolo, and the skipper. Feeding ball for Lorient. Met by Salamakis. Tomori just gets rid. Here's Doig. Look at the launch a long throw here. Pinamonte taking... Oh, no. Will be played short. Throsfish. Half an hour to go. But now in this game here, here's Kone. There's a little battle now. A little bit more narrow. Oh, it's a great ball. And Trusves is denied by a great save for Mike Magnon. Reaction at the near post. Great ball in and great deft touch by Trusves. But in the end, Mike Magnon making a superb save. That's the danger there for Milan. You've got to be careful. You've got to be switched on. Sassuolo are going to throw a little bit more at them now. And you've got to be at it. Volpato now. It says up the pitch, and that crosses a cross of a defender. Oh, what a ball. Great reaction for Mike Magnon to make the save. Konku just a little bit loose there with possession. Kone pressing. Showing a different side of their game here, Milan. Playing out from the back. Keeping the ball well. That was smart by Salamakis, but in the end, he's let the ball run out of play. Really impressed with the fluidity and the adjustability of this Milan system here. Midfielders taking in turns to be the high presser to the highest midfielder. Wing backs bombing on. At times inverting inside. There is a real ability to adjust a game situation, and what we're going to have to show here in the last half an hour is the ability to defend a lead. As I've said on multiple occasions in this live stream, they've been the team that has come from behind a lot recently. They've done it again here today, but how do they go once they're in the lead here against a Sassuolo side that has already scored in this game here and will like their chance of scoring again? De Winter up the pitch. Muramovic. Lorient. Doig now. just think this Milan side has got the edge over their rivals Inter. Have taken a lot of the big boys already. There's games like this where, for me and for a lot of others around world football, that Milan can prove that they really are title challengers or title threats. Because yes, they are first in the Serie A table, but haven't really quite seen the best of Inter, haven't quite seen the best of Napoli. And as they start getting into gear and kicking into gear, Milan with their 1 game a week, obviously that's an advantage. We saw what Napoli did last year, playing 1 game a week. It does help them with the legs, keep sides fresh. But it's really important for Milan that they stay consistent, stay solid. It's a poor chance for Nemanja Matic. Lucky to get away with the yellow card in the end. But it's games like this that, yeah, for me, it's against a team like a Sassuolo. It's going to be dangerous on their day, but really should be winning this game, Milan. Is that they get credit in the bank for me. Especially when you go down and trail 1-0. Takes a lot of character, takes a lot of ability to fight back, and the goals they've scored have been top draw, the build-up play, the finishes. Pulisic has been fouled there. Torosves there, pick up a yellow card. Smart little ball at the top there. It was Christian Pulisic making the late run. Zagi's floated in ball. He's been the hero so far. Salamanca's great ball in. Pavlovic won the first ball. Loftus-Cheek the second ball and tapped home. Oh, but offside once again. Every time you think they've scored, they haven't. Any offside shouts? Everyone on there. Obviously, Loftus-Cheek's on there. And there's Rabiot who's offside. Was there any need to touch that home? And Rabiot nodding his head to say, I know I was offside. If you knew you were offside, did you really need to put a touch on that ball? However, this is taking much longer than the original check did. So they are having a look at it. An extended wait, and when it's a wait like this, you think maybe it could be. Two times the ball's been in the back of the net in this second half, outside of the obvious, the goal. And yes, it's been disallowed for offside. And then Rabiot's touch in the end, decisive, and the fact that he was offside. So we're back underway, 23 minutes to go. 2-1. Milan in the ascendancy. Lorient taking on Fikayo Tomori and not winning that battle. Loftus-Cheek, you just thought he had scored. Salamanca's. It's a very keen ball for Christian Pulisic to chase Matic. Volpato looking to take on all 3 Milan defenders in front of him. And he's done very well there, Volpato. Unable to continue on. Luka Modric looking to play out of trouble. Does so well. Luka Modric. Volpato wanting a foul, but he's going to get nothing there. You can hear the whistles from the Milan fans. They're not happy with Volpato on the floor there. Bartosaghi's throw forward. Wins the second ball in the header there. Hooked high there from Idzes. Throsfest. Around the corner there. Searching for Pinamonte. Pushed there by the Winter over, and there's no foul there, says the referee. Salamakers looking for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He's bundled over, but no foul there either. Muramovic there making the challenge. Bato. $20 to go now. Still 2-1 Milan in the ascendancy. Thanks everyone for joining us here in this Super Sunday first leg of our doubleheader. Obviously, there come the time we had Derby. We shift our focus to the Premier League. See those possession stats there, only 60% now for Milan, 41 for those in white and green. Just growing into this game here. Milan have taken their foot off the pedal a little bit, looking to sit in, absorb some pressure. But you know, they can be dangerous on the counter-attack, especially with players like Christopher Nkunku, Christian Pulisic, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek leading the counter-attack. Lorient. Nemanja Matic whipped in ball. Dealt with by Tamori. Sent out as far as Izjes. Murhemovic. Lorient. Throsfest. He's cross-blocked by Tamori again. Doig. Milan's lying in deeper and deeper. This can be a problem. Inviting pressure. Nemanja Matic. He'll look to pull the strings here. He'll fancy breaking down this Milan backline with how deep they're sitting, how open they are to a cross into the box, making a late run potentially. Matic's low ball. That way by Adrian Rabiot. Bartosaghi, the hero, doesn't want to be a villain now. And is bundled over by Pinamonte. That's the offside there. And Rabiot's sort of whole left half of his body there is offside. Was there a need to... It might hit the post. But gee, did it really need a touch if he knew he was offside? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. Here's Ricky. So Ricci on. Christian Pulisic off. And he'll look to try and help Milan shut up shop. Allegri's smiling. Pulisic isn't too happy with the substitution, but there's a lot more big games to come, in particular with the Super Cup to come. Now, I think Napoli is the semi-final game for Milan, so it's a big one for them. Lamaka sends that ball back to Mike Magnon. Just a quick word about Massimo Allegri. It just shows when you've got a squad that actually works for the system and players that will work for you, and a squad that actually works for you, you can do some great things. That last Juventus job just seemed cursed, and you see now with Igor Tudor struggling, him being sacked, and the new manager there at Juventus now in Spalletti, that club is very much cursed. And I got some strong feedback from my clip midweek about, me and Nathan, our thoughts about Juventus and their struggles and the recruitment strategy. And look, we've seen the same thing about Milan at the start of this season, but you bring a good manager in, and you've got a team like Milan that have the danger flair players up top, like Christian Pulisic and like Rafael Leao and Santi Jimenez, and a hard-working midfield. I keep going on about this. One of the best, probably the best midfields for Serie A conditions. Luka Modric, the older statesman, the creator, the playmaker from deep, the hard-working other than Rabiot, the physical beast, and you got the strong, athletic physique of Loftus-Cheek. That is the ultimate Serie A midfield trio. And as is the game is right now, wing-backs are the way of things, and you've seen today. The double for Bartazagi, and we know how good Salamakis can be. It's a really good squad. That's a ball into the box, dealt with by Fikayo Tomori. But I just think this Milan squad was a sleeping giant. Yes, there has been a few questionable signings from them across the last few seasons, but a good manager like Massimo Allegri can make the best of players like Christopher Nkunku. He's got players like Pervis Estupiñán on the bench. And look at the bench right now. Obviously, Samuel Ricci's come on. The Winter's obviously some squad depth, but Pervis Estupiñán's there. And we've got players like Rafael Leao, Santi Jimenez still to come back into this side out with injury right now. It says wins the first ball, second ball dealt with, and Ricci away. But yeah, I've been very, very impressed in terms of how Allegri's been able to maximise this Milan squad. Again, as I keep saying, not the most talented, not the most skilled, not the most technical, but if you've got a clear system like Massimo Allegri has, and he's found a lot of fluidity in this squad, the ability to have wing-backs push on and invert, have a midfield trio that often is changing. At times, Modric further forward, at times Loftus-Cheek further forward, Rabiot, that proper box-to-box player. No-nonsense back three with Pavlovic, with Matteo Gabbi and Fikayo Tomori, three of the better centre-halves in the league. All of a sudden, when you start putting the names together on paper with a good manager and a clear identity and system, without overcomplicating it, it becomes a clearer picture for Milan. That's why they're top of the league. Napoli having to deal with 2 games a week, tiring legs, having to go again after a fabulous last season. We know how well Inter do, but again, this is their 4th, 5th season of going at it on multiple fronts. Champions League, Cup football, Serie A football. It is tiring. They haven't got a new manager there as well. And they've got older legs. Pinamonti, great give and go. And what a finish! That is out to this world from Lorient. And Sassuolo draw level with a sensational goal. Silky smooth for Sassuolo. And it's a substitute, Lorient, from the bench. And what a build-up. Pinamonti again, heavily involved. Back to goal. Deft touch around the corner to set up Lorient, who's come off the bench. Just have a look at this here. Ball to Kone, into Lorient, lays the ball off. And Lorient says, I'll have a bit of that. Quality. Real pizzazz in the final third there. Give and go, give and release. And on the run, what's it take for Lorient? Open up the body, found the far corner. And Super Sassuolo, as it feels like today. There's your equaliser. I'm saying all these great things about Milan, but once again, they've left the door ajar, and Sassuolo have kicked that door open. Bartazagi's double after Kone scored first, and now Lorient off the bench to make it 2-2. Boy, have we been blessed with a good one today. Oh, and Nkunku, great little touch. Off the cheek with only man forward. Rabiot's ball was poor. Salamakis disrupted there by Cornet. Searching for Lorient on the break. He's run out of green grass. Once again, though, Milan now taking on Christian Pulisic. Samuel Ricci on. You have to be. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is almost a makeshift centre forward alongside Christopher Nkunku to make this system work. All of a sudden, all of Bartazagi and Milan's hard work undone. And you can see by the possession stats, that's what they're 45% of the ball now. After they were in the mid to low 30s early in the second half. Milan have taken their foot off the gas and they've made to pay there. Vodamanovic's clearance has come off the foot of Rabiot out of play, and Massimo Allegri now has to think about how he can fix this game. Not many options off the bench. We've mentioned with all the injuries that Milan have had. Leao, Fofana and Jimenez, all real goal threats out of this game. This is what we worry about with Milan. This is what is the final tick for me for them to become a proper title threat. Yes, they've become a better side this season under Massimo Allegri, but it's games here like Sassuolo, games like teams like Parma, Udinese, you have to win if you're going to be champions of the Scudetto and win the Scudetto. Serie A is a very, very tightly contested league, and you can't take your foot off at any moment in time. They really need to earn 3 points here. Luka Modric. Here is Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Ricci up. Salamakis furthest right. It is Salamakis to get on the football. Cutting inside. Salamakis looking for Luka Modric. Luka Modric. Vodamanovich again with the block that deflects off a Milan player. So with 10 minutes to go, we're still at 2-2. And it's that man Lorient. Gives it to Kone. Kone released to Pinamonte. He just laid that ball off to Lorient. He coolly slotted that ball into the back of the net. Great finish from the substitute. Mike Magnon clearly frustrated. And so is this San Siro crowd. The whistles are out as Ante Muric takes his time for this goal kick. Pavlovic winning the header. Loftus-Cheek does well. It is Nkunku. That pass broken up well by Nemanja Matic, who seems to have covered every blade of grass out there on the San Siro. Mentioned those Super Cup to come as well, so it's so important that Milan get a positive result going into that break. Have that lead on top of Serie A. As it currently stands, they're dropping points. They're keeping the door ajar for the likes of Napoli, for the likes of Inter Milan. Even potentially other teams in and around the count, like Roma, like Bologna. You have to play as well. Rabiot, floater. Muric, easy for him. It's Tosfest there, leading the distance covered. Let's have a look at the table here. Sassuolo with this draw go up into the top half ahead of Cremonense. He picked up a loss last time out. So, look, Atalanta nowhere. We obviously know how good they're doing in the Champions League, but they've struggled in league play this season. Lazio have found their form, but Sassuolo are really in the midst there of that best of the rest. That's the European position. So, keep an eye on this Sassuolo side. They really have been the big hitters this season. They're doing Rabiot now. It's Pavlovic. Bartazaghi's ball, too deep. Salamakis, pull back onto Luka Modric. Didn't choose him. Kone gets rid. Doig having to pressure Salamakis. He's done well there, Doig. Kept the ball alive. Samuel Ricci can't keep the ball either. Kone. And he's bundled over by the substitute Ricci. Frustrations boiling over here for Milan. More precious seconds will be taken off the clock now by Sassuolo. They're in game management mode. Substitutes. Oh, they've worked perfectly. Doig and Lorient. Lorient, obviously the goal scorer. But Doig done very well defensively. He's on the player of the match. Canada's Bartazaghi. Lorient for me have to be up there. You probably have to go Davide Bartazaghi for his two great finishes, but if Sassuolo end up getting a win from this game, you probably have to get to Lorient because of how he put together that finish to draw Sassuolo level. Doix does well. Gee, skip past 3. Shot in the end blocked. Milan are really on the back foot here. Lorient. Volpato showing. Two assists as well by Pinamonte. Has to be a shout for player of the game as well. He's Lorient. Skipping on the outside and getting across into the box. Deflected behind from a Sassuolo corner kick. And those few hundred Sassuolo fans that have travelled to Milan are in fine voice. They've seen their team put up a very good fight today. And their great run at the San Siro continues. Make sure, ladies and gentlemen, in just under an hour's time, we are back for our second leg of our Super Sunday fixture, and it's our major fixture. Time we're Derby, Newcastle travelling to Sunderland for that game there. Can't wait for that one to get kicked off. Great crowd in. Yeah. Pathetic club, Milan. You know what? Milan have... They continue to keep me guessing. I was giving them all those props, and then obviously Sassuolo score. And I was saying it earlier in the live stream. I haven't quite given them the ranking of title contender or title threat as of yet, just because of games like these and their inconsistencies. I think that they've been very impressive this season. Don't get that twisted. Been very, very good this year. But this is the reason why, for me, they can't go amongst Napoli and Inter as the title threats. They are, for me, the third team in that race. Despite being top going into this weekend, they might exit the weekend in third. And that goes to show the quality of the others around them and how they're just starting to warm up. So Pinamonte comes off. What a stint he's put in. Limited opportunities, but 2 assists. Motto on in his place. And Volpato off as well. He's had a tough day at the office for him. I don't know why he's shaking his head. Pretty poor display from him. And Jadida on in his place. So Sassuolo now have made 4 changes. Milan only the 2. Don't expect much more from Milan. There's not much options from the bench for them. Jeez, 3 and a bit minutes to go. If Sassuolo score here, crisis alerts for Milan. Then Rabiot loses out there in important time. Ball in! Is that the winner? No, it's not. And Sassuolo want a penalty for a push on Lorient. What a chance. What is Rabiot doing at the back? No foul there. No, definitely no foul. Ding ball. I thought that was it. But Fikayo Tomori getting an important touch in the end. Nothing doing there. Mike Magnon didn't come. He got stuck in no man's land. And just when I thought Lorient could have a chance to make it 3-2, Sassuolo, the better team in the second half, you know what? Probably the more likely team to score this third goal. But as I keep saying, Milan are the comeback kings. That's why they're top of Serie A. Salamakas, that ball got away from him. And here goes Lorient. Milan are committed numbers at the pitch. It's 3-on-2. Lorient still. Lorient has hit the post. Let's come back to him. Ball into the box. Got rid by Tomori. Oh, heart and mouth stuff for Milan. The game's truly opened up now. It's a basketball game. Pavlovic up the pitch. Here come Milan. Storming up. It's still Pavlovic. Salamakas. And that ball's ends up with Nemanja Matic. Can Sassuolo come forward now? Match is turning on it. Kone. It's become ridiculous at the end here. Tired legs everywhere. Lorient has hit the upright at one end. Pavlovic nearly fantastic on the other end. Boy, this game has come to life. Oh, my Magnon was beaten at his near post. I thought that was it for Sassuolo. Got to feel for the travelling side. They've been so impressive in this second half and really deserved that if they found the back of the net. But lifeline for Milan. 1 minute plus stoppage. You think about 5 minutes of stoppages to play. They have to win this game if they want to be treated as title threats, title contenders. Loftus-Cheek turning away from Nemanja Matic, who's all over him. Advantage played. Bartazagi, the hero. Blocked though, and here comes Nemanja Matic. The coach of the sidelines wanting him to commit numbers at the pitch now. Matic bundled over. And a foul in the end. And the Milan bench incensed. Here's that Lorient. Oh, boy, it's deflected off Magnon as well. It's hit the upright. It's hit Magnon. He had no idea about it. And then here, this is that penalty shout. I don't think it's a penalty shout, but if Lorient had known Tamori was behind him, he could have stuck a foot out and got an important touch. So Salamaka's off and Kane on. And Bartazagi off as well. So both wing-backs off. And Pervis Estupiñán comes on. 6 minutes of added time to be played. A lot of time of football. A long time in football. So Kane and Pervis Estupiñán. Kunku giving that ball away too easy. Modric fouling Thorses. Oh, this has been a good one. Thank you everyone for joining me. It's been a chaotic game. An amazing second half. 1-1 in the first half. Another goal apiece in the second half. But I just feel there's another twist in this tale here. Here comes Sassuolo. They've been the better team in the second half. They've owned the ball. Milan has sat in too deep. Here's Moro. Great ball in behind. Here goes down. No penalty given. Referee says absolutely not. Jadida went down. Nothing doing. Pavlovic got himself in between him and the ball, but Pavlovic doesn't do much there. Jadida was looking for the contact and when went down. Bartazagi, the hero on the bench. So it's going to be Pervis Estupiñán on his left-hand side. Here he is. Receives from Rabiot. You just feel like someone's going to nick this game. It'd be heartbreak for whoever doesn't score. Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Samuel Ricci off the bench. Artecare. Estupiñán can keep that ball alive. Floated ball in. Muric comes. It's been great aerially all day. What a collection that is. 2 of the 6 minutes of stoppage time being played. Chaos at the end of this one. Muric goes along. They still believe Sassuolo. And why not? Other than Rabiot has been sloppy on the ball in the second half. Luka Modric is never. Pavlovic is storming up the pitch. He's got Loftus-Cheek in the middle. He does fine, Loftus-Cheek. Gets the ball out of his feet. Loftus-Cheek takes a deflection. It's out for a corner. And those Milan fans out of their seat. They just believe. You think Luka Modric, the little master, is over to take this one. Here it is. Right-footed out swinger. Don't leave your seats now. We're in for a grand slam finish. Modric. Dealt with by Murmerovic. Given away by Estupiñán. Luckily, Magnon off his line to clean up. Artecane and Ricci now. I wonder if Allegri is regretting taking off Christian Pulisic. The American would be dangerous in this situation. Rabiot. Oh, gee. Who was it in there? I think it was in Kunku and Loftus-Cheek were in there. Didn't find any of them. Throntovic now stemming up the pitch. It's 3v4 here. Chedira there. Not really dealt with it there. Mike Magnon has to just send the ball out of play. No chat at the back for Milan. A chaotic finish to this game. We are 4 minutes in to the 6 of stoppages. Allegri and the fans want this throw taken. We've got a stoppage behind play. Cramp for Nemanja Matic. He probably actually does have cramp. He's really run himself ragged in this game here, the old man. The wise veteran. Who nicks it? Who wants it more? Milan obviously travelling to Saudi Arabia midweek for that game versus Napoli in the Super Cup. They want to finish here in the Serie A with a positive result. Are we in for one last twist to this tale? Artekane, Christopher Nkunku, been quiet in this game. Adrian Rabiot, Stupinian now, the Ecuadorian. What a ball! Nkunku! Oh! For a moment I thought it was just dropping in. But his touch took it slightly wide. It just kept spinning wide of the goal. That was the moment. Those Milan fans behind the goal. Edge of their seat stuff here. Long throw by Tamori to come. You think about a minute left of this game. Pavlovic the flick. Ricci. Pavlovic. Oh. He's shot the spin wide. And that might be it. Look at that flick from Christopher Nkunku. Getting in front of the defender. Just too much spin on it. Taking it wide of the goal. A little bit more gamesmanship here now. What a first leg to our Super Sunday doubleheader. We have been blessed with a good one here. Chedida. Rabiot not winning that 50-50. The ball goes the way of Milan. Stupinian's throw. Straight away, back to Pavlovic. We played 30 seconds extra than what was acquitted. Long searching ball there. Oh, nervy moments at the back. Headed out for a Milan corner kick. Adrian Rabiot over. It will be Luka Modric to take this corner kick. This has to be the last chance, you'd think. Massimo Allegri can't bear to watch. Luka Modric is right-footed in-swinger. What has he got? Plays short to Purvis Estupinian. Gives it back to Luka Modric. Edge of the box here now. Gets one way on the next. Dangerous ball. Not fully dealt with, but it is now. The break is on now. Doig. Artekane across. And that's the full-time whistle. And it's joined by boos and whistles by the Milan faithful. They dropped 2 points in this massive title race in Serie A. The door is well and truly ajar for Napoli and Inter Milan later this evening. Even if you're Bologna as well, you'd like your chances. Same as Roma. The boys at the top of the table drop points. It was Bartazaghi's double after the opening goal from Ismail Kone. And Lorient off the bench in the 77th minute made it 2-2. If any team got the win, it looked like it was going to be Sassuolo. Those travelling fans very, very happy. This draw takes them into the top half. But for Milan, massive points drop in this title race. Now, advantage can go into the hands of either Napoli or Inter Milan. The two big boys have a chance to go ahead of Milan as they drop points here. Their next game comes on Thursday in Saudi Arabia for the Super Cup. Thanks for joining me, guys, in this first leg of our Super Sunday doubleheader. Don't move too far. Half an hour's time, we'll be back. Tyne-Wear Derby, Super Sunday special game. Cannot wait. It's been great to be back, guys. First game was a belter. Let's hope the second game is even better. Thanks for joining me, guys. I will see you in around half an hour's time.